Hello, this is Craig Resnick coming to you from the 2015 ARC Advisory Group Orlando Forum. With me today I have two special guests, Joe Kann, Vice President, Global Business Development, Rockwell Automation, and Mike Troiano, Vice President, AT&T. How you doing today, Joe? How you doing today, Mike?
Thank you. Great, thank you.
You know, Joe, just coming from Automation Fair a couple of months ago, one of the announcements that you made was your new relationship with AT&T. Tell us about a little more about that relationship.
Yeah, well, we're very excited to be partnering with AT&T. If you look at what the industrial customers are really going through right now in terms of trying to create greater connectivity, this vision of the connected enterprise and how that's going to help them improve their business performance, we felt that it was necessary to partner with a world-class company like AT&T, particularly in the area of wireless and cellular technology for both in-plant as well as field-based assets to be able to increase the amount of connectivity and to be able to add value through things like advanced diagnostics and remote expert models and things like that.
Now, Mike, tell me a little bit about AT&T's role in industrial automation, because many of the people in the industry may not recognize AT&T as a player in industrial automation.
Let me back up and talk a little bit about the industrial IoT division that we actually just stood up a few months ago, and it actually fares very well with what we're doing with Rockwell. But it came to our attention as we started to meet with more and more enterprise customers, and they talked about the concept of IoT. When you think about industrial solutions that need to be hardened, they have to be out in the environment for 7, 10 plus years, you think about how you engineer those very differently than a consumer solution. It made sense for us to actually stand up a different business unit, and that's what I'm responsible for. And the example I like to give often, if you left your Fitbit at home, the end of the world wouldn't come. But if these guys at Rockwell can't connect to a voltage drive reliably in a scalable model, not only domestically but globally, it could have adverse impact to their business.
Okay. Now, Joe, no one knows better than you the amount of premier partnerships that Rockwell Automation has established over the years with companies like Cisco and Anderson-Hauser. Why AT&T?
Well, the basic philosophy we have around partnering is that no one company can do it all as well, and no one can do it by themselves. We seek the world's best partners in terms of their areas of expertise. In the case of cellular technology, nobody has better global reach, nobody has a more comprehensive model than AT&T, and with all their experience and their focus on mobility and wireless, we thought that that'd be an excellent choice. We've had some outstanding early experience with them working in doing some rapid prototyping of new technologies in their foundry facilities down in Dallas. It's been very good start for what promises to be a very strong partnership.
Okay, and now I'll ask you, Mike, why do you say AT&T want to partner with Rockwell Automation?
First of all, we do have a shared vision, which is incredible. We've had so many discussions in the summer of 2014, both at kind of the mid-level working levels of the organization all the way up through the senior executives, and they have a shared vision with us, which is we need to connect these assets, both legacy assets as well as new ones coming off the line. Joe brought up the concept of the foundry, and one of the important situations we've realized in working together is that oftentimes you might not have the internal skill set to build some of these things, right? And so you look to partners. And I think one of the points that we've been able to bring to the relationship is this foundry asset that we have in Dallas, where we bring some of the best engineers, both hardware and software from AT&T. We bring in other ecosystem partners as necessary. And of course, we bring the Rockwell team in, and we start to quickly prototype and build things out. And one of the conversations that we had late in the summer of 2014 was a recognition from the senior leaders at Rockwell that they couldn't have made it that far in such a short period of time if it wasn't for the stitching, if you will, that AT&T helped bring to bear. And so I think it's an important point.
Okay. Now, Joe, obviously you're not going to go ahead and execute a partnership if a relationship didn't bring business value to your customers. So give me an example of how this relationship is going to provide tangible benefits to the Rockwell Automation customers.
Well, very good. Well, first of all, I'd like to make a comment and start with the foundation here, which is communications in this new world that we live in relative to Internet of Things or M2M or whatever you choose is technically possible but not effective if we can't address security. And so one of the foundations of our relationship here is helping customers to achieve this vision of the Internet of Things, but with robust end-to-end security all the way down to the end device, all the way out to the cloud. And with AT&T, we have the ability to do that. the basic value proposition for our end user customers is the ability to bring in remote expertise from their machine builder partners and vendors like ourselves to be able to keep those plants up and running more effectively. On the other side is the ability for the machine builders to have a much deeper relationship with their end user customers throughout the life of that asset, to be able to continue to bring expertise, continue to refine the design of that asset, make that asset more valuable going forward, and looking at the entire fleet of those assets out in the customer base to be able to make them more effective.
Okay. And our last question, Mike. You know, we certainly know about the emerging trends of industrial IoT, and we've talked a lot about them. We certainly have an entire forum where industrial Internet of Things has been a prevailing theme. And tell us, if we look at these emerging trends, your relationship with Rockwell Automation, how is this going to help AT&T address those emerging trends?
Well, I think it's beyond AT&T. I actually would challenge us to think in a much broader sense. I think one of the important things is we'll figure out the technology. 9 times out of 10, we do that actually fairly quickly. But for us to be successful, Rockwell and AT&T and the broader customer base, it's also around how do you actually take these technologies and operationalize them? How do you retrain the workforce to actually take advantage of these new tools? How do you think about scaling it, not only, again, domestically, but think about the global component that these two companies will bring to bear? And so those are some of the challenges that we're working through right now. But if we nail those, I'm very excited about the future potential of what we're bringing to market.
Oh, that's great. I can't wait for next year's forum and to see how this relationship has gone on in this journey that you've gone forward together. Thank you very much, Joe. Thank you very much, Mike.
Thank you.
Again, wrapping up our interview with Joe Kann, Vice President, Rockwell Automation, and Mike Troiano, Vice President, AT&T. This is Craig Resnick from the 2015 ARC Orlando Forum. Have a great day.